I'm back for another video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley, aka The Stylish Local, and if you love all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, a little shit talking no, but if you love all of those things, you are in the right place. This is the channel for you. If this is your first time here, please feel free to subscribe. I would love for you to join the little family. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back to my video, to my channel, to see my face. Yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. Well, as you will see, my background has changed a little bit. Please ignore the holes in my wall. I took those shelves down because honestly, truly, they were pissing me off. Really trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this space right now. So for now, this is what it is, but don't focus on that. Okay, focus on me. Now, today's video is gonna be all about my style goals for 2026. This is something that I kind of do every single year, but it feels like every single year I haven't really been like seeing it through, right? Haven't been crossing the goals off the list, haven't been doing the things. And I came to realize that honestly, I was in a very just weird space. I was in a funk. I was, I think, still like holding on. Not even holding on, I really don't know how to explain it. And this is where I would need the lady to chime in, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I am in therapy. I just know that the trauma that I have experienced in my life has been something that has changed me naturally, right? We all go through things, we all usually change after some kind of trauma in our life, whether that's for the good or for the bad. For me, it kind of felt like it was more so for the bad because I really just lost my spark. And knowing who I am inside and knowing, you know, just my personality, all of the things, it was kind of very interesting to just see me morph into this different person. I've always been like very calm, laid back and chill, but I also have a social butterfly side to my personality as well. Very much down for whatever, let's hang out, let's kiki, let's do all the things, very spontaneous. And I kind of became a hermit. Wasn't going out very often. And when I did, it was like super random, never planned. Well, sometimes. And then when it came to my style specifically, right? Because that's really what we're here for. When it came to my style, I just found that I was boring. I feel boring. I feel like everything that I think up here and everything that I want to do up here and everything that I know up here is not reflecting, and that's pissing me off. It's honestly frustrating me because once again, when you know yourself, but there feels like there's a disconnect between who you know you are and how you present. Like I said, it's frustrating. And when I say how I present, it's not because I care what other people think. It's because I know that once again, I'm like holding back, right? I know that it's kind of like I've been a shell of myself for the past few years, and style is something that people use to express themselves all the time, right? That's definitely a quote. Who is it? Who said it? Was it Chanel? I think it's Chanel. Child, it was somebody. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. But anyway, we all know that style is a form of expression, fashion and style. So for me, I live this life, I breathe this life. This is everything that I know, right? Do it on a daily basis. I've been in the fashion industry for 20 years. It's the thing that excites me. It's the thing that I'm most passionate about. So once again, like I said, to find myself disconnected from all these things was very frustrating. So this year, yes, I made another list, my style goals list for 2026. And I really kind of want to like be very intentional when it comes to making these things happen for myself, because it is something that I'm very excited about. So let me go ahead and pull up my little notes, child, on my phone. Because yeah, I just feel like, you know, we all deserve to look good and feel good. And when you look good, you absolutely feel good. There's nothing that anyone can say to me about that. So I need to look good. I need to look good as fuck. Okay? Hold please. Where's my list? Okay, boom, so I found it. So at the top of this, the title of my list is Style Goals for 2026. And then underneath that, there's something that I saw in a video probably like over a year ago now, right? And I had mentioned it on an episode of one of the podcast episodes of The Dress Code that I do with Bremen from the 5th Floor. If you don't know, I have a fashion and style podcast. It's called The Dress Code Podcast. I will link it down below. I host it with my co-host Bremen from the 5th Floor. We talk all things fashion, style, the fashion space, the industry, you know, just it really is a space for everyone, but specifically for people of color, because we all know that we are the blueprint. And just really like getting our own kind of representation. I wanted a space for us. I wanted a space where we can be seen, heard, where we can collaborate, where we can just be amongst our people, right? So yeah, that's that. So the Dress Code podcast. But like I was saying, there was an episode of the Dress Code where I was like, I saw a post, and in the post, the person was like, I'm getting dressed for my mental health. And when I say that has stuck with me, it has stuck with me. It has been living rent-free in my mind since then. And so underneath the title Style Goals for 2026, I also put, this year I will be getting dressed for my mental health. And like I said earlier in the video, just with like trauma and all these different things, I know what that connection is for me, and I know how I feel when I get dressed and I'm actively doing the things, right? And actively presenting myself the way I want to be presented. And so let's get right into the list. And the first thing I have on the list is going to be to create a solid foundation of elevated basics. Now, when it comes to basics, they don't have to be basic. They don't have to be boring. They don't have to be, just blah and bland. They can be elevated. And when I say elevated basic, what I'm saying is something that has a little bit of extra to it, right? A little more zhuzh, a little more pizzazz, a little bit more razzle dazzle, if you will. So if it's a t-shirt, I don't just necessarily want it to be a regular t-shirt. I want it to have shoulder pads. I want it to have a cinched waist. I want it to have a corset detail. I want it to have an asymmetrical hemline. I want something else. I need more. When it comes to bottoms, right? I'm a trouser girl down to the ground. I love a pair of trousers, but I love a barrel leg. So if I'm gonna do jeans as well, jeans or trousers, it has to be a barrel leg. I love a barrel leg style. That silhouette is just sick. And silhouettes we'll get into as we get more and more into my list, but I love a barrel style. And for me, a barrel style is interesting, right? At its core, it's a basic item because it's a denim pair of jeans, or it's a trouser, something that you could wear every single day with multiple things in your wardrobe. However, the shape is what elevates it. It takes it to another level. When it comes to like shoes, right? I know everyone is kind of into a tabby right now. I've always been a tabby girl, down to the ground, tabby gang, will always be, right? And I love a tabby ballet flat. That's really kind of the only ballet flat that I care about. But I've also realized that there are other ballet flats that I do like, but they have to be interesting, elevated. Once again, something has to be interesting about the shape and the silhouette for me to say, yes, I want that. So elevated basics are gonna be a big part of my wardrobe this year. When I am shopping, I'm being very intentional and strategic about the things that I am buying, because sometimes I don't wanna do the most. Sometimes I don't want an outfit full of statement pieces. Sometimes I really do just wanna be on some chill shit. But my version of chill and somebody else's version of chill is probably two different things, right? So for me, an outfit full of elevated basics would be it. I would do a barrel leg style, right? Very extreme barrel leg. Then I would probably do like a corset cinched, t-shirt with shoulder pads, a nasty shoe, a good bag, some jewelry, a pair of frames, call it a day. For me, that's basic. For somebody else, it might be doing the most, but different people here. So number 2 on this list is going to be to step up my accessory game, and I put hats, belts, scarves, brooches, etc. So now for me, I've realized that where I am really lacking when it comes to getting dressed and in my wardrobe in general is accessories. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, I feel like most of the time the accessories are the cherry on top of an outfit. You can have a great outfit, but what really takes it to the next level is how you accessorize. The hat you wear, if you wear hats, right? The shoes. If you wear scarves, how are you tying this scarf? Like you're probably not just wearing it the normal way someone would wear it, just around their neck. Maybe you're wearing your scarf as a belt. Maybe you're wearing it as, like as a layering piece. So you have a white button down and now you layered your scarf on top of it. There's so many different ways to style items, and there's so many different ways to use your accessories to kind of like switch up the vibe of a look. And that's something that I want to get more into. I absolutely love brooches. Brooches are Listen, I love a brooch. I love a good brooch. So for me, that's something that I want to collect more of, especially when it comes to like vintage styles as well. Love a vintage brooch. I've stole several from my mom. You know, I gave them back, sis, just in case you ever see this video. But yeah, like I love brooches. I love them on a blazer. I love them on a t-shirt. I love them on, you know, a wool coat. It's something. It does something for me. I even love them on a hat, right? And then when it comes to hats as well, that's another thing that I want to get into, because I've realized that I don't like all hats. There are like a couple of hats, a couple of styles of hats, I would say, that I personally enjoy. One is going to be the Ruslan Baginski hat. That hat does it for me every single time. It's something that I feel like personally looks really good on me. It's an elevated style. It's a classic style as well, with that kind of like newsboy, you know, just kind of like paperboy hat. Love it. And they have so many different versions, textures, colors, all of the things. Then there's going to be like a New York kind of like fitted, or a Yankee baseball dad cap. I feel like that looks cute on me. I do one of those all the time. I like them in multiple colors, so I think I'm going to expand my collection of that. But I've also like worn that super dressed down or super dressed up, right? There's so many different ways to go with the hats. For me, I'm not really a big like fedora person. And I did get this hat, and I'm still trying to figure out how to style it. And I gotta figure it out before it gets too hot to wear it. But Ashley Muhammad, so Iconic Ash, absolutely love her. She was a guest on the podcast. She's a dope woman, businesswoman, mother, wife, designer, all of the things. She's amazing. She came out with these hats, and I got the Nas. Is it Nas? It is Nas. It's shit. Which one did I get? I don't remember. I'll insert a video right here, but when I say I loved it, I saw it immediately, DM'd her like, I need that. I need that. And so, like I said, I really want to get to wear it before it gets too warm, but it is like a light fabric as well, because she basically made them from graphic tees, which once again is super dope, right? And so for me, I'm like, oh, it's actually a t-shirt. I could wear that all year long, realistically speaking. So yeah, when it comes to the accessories, I gotta step it up a notch, right? Like I said, the accessories are the cherry on top of an outfit, and I need my outfit to have like several cherries at all times, because that really, I feel like, is the missing ingredient. Sunglasses are a really great accessory as well, right? Sometimes I feel like an outfit is missing a fire frame, and then often it depends on the kind of frame that you wear that really takes the outfit to another level. So accessories are important. Please, if you are also rebuilding your wardrobe, please do not forget about the accessories. Oh, belts as well. Belts are another thing. I have a couple of cool ass belts. Ask me if I ever wore them. Nope. I wore them with the intention, right, of, I bought them, I'm sorry, with the intention of wearing them, styling them, because I know what can be done with them. Child, they sit in my closet. And so this is what I mean by like, just, I've been falling down on the job. I've been falling down on the job, but yeah, accessory game is getting stepped all the way up. Okay, so number 3 on the list is going to be start building my vintage and archive collection. I want to curate a beautiful wardrobe of iconic pieces. Now, that word curate is so important to me, and it's definitely like one of my words for 2026. I want to curate not only a beautiful wardrobe, but a beautiful life. I'm kind of in the space where, once again, completely rebranding my life and making sure that the things that I want and the things that I'm doing are aligning with the overall vision that I have for my life. And so when it comes to my wardrobe, absolutely, this is going to be curated. I'm being very intentional. I'm taking my time. I'm doing my research. I'm really thinking about my personal style. It hasn't really changed much, to be quite honest. It's just maybe evolved or been more refined. But I've always been into the same shit. I've always been into blazers, always loved leopard print, always loved feathers. I love texture. Hot pink is one of my favorite colors. Red is one of my favorite colors. And so when I'm thinking about these vintage pieces and these archive pieces, I'm also thinking about those things as well, because I want to, once again, curate a wardrobe that is timeless. And timeless in the sense of, I can go in my wardrobe at any point and pull out a piece from the 80s. Maybe it's vintage Chanel, or we have vintage Dior, we have a little Mugler, whatever it is. I want those pieces in my closet. I absolutely love fashion, and obviously like duh, but when I say I love fashion, I love fashion. I'm so passionate about it. Like, this is, like I said earlier, the thing that drives me the most. I think about it every single day. I think about it every single day. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about something fashion related. And, you know, a lot of people feel like they don't have the vision when it comes to having style. I feel like I was blessed with that. I was born with that. I can look at anything and see the vision for it. I can style it, whatever. So yeah, when it comes to like vintage pieces and archive pieces, I really want those pieces in my wardrobe, because I started out my, like, I guess, fashion career just doing all of that research and, you know, learning about the different decades in fashion and the people who came before me and why they're so important and influential, and, you know, the stylists and the magazine editors. At one time I wanted to be a magazine editor, and it's still a little, like, I think it's still a dream of mine, but I think I gotta create my own table for that, respectfully. So yeah, but just those vintage and archive pieces are just so important to fashion history. And because I am a nerd and I love fashion history, I want them in my closet as a piece of history, but also just because it goes with my style. Duh. Duh. Years from now, you know, like, if I have kids, I would love to pass those things down to my daughter if she's into fashion. Or if I don't have a daughter, hey, maybe to my friends, you know, kids, or my god kids, or whatever the case may be. But I really, really do just want a piece of fashion history sitting in my closet, and I just want to look at it sometimes. I might not even wear it all the time, but I want to look at it. I want to collect. I want to curate. I think that your wardrobe is kind of like a mini museum, you know, and I want to have a fashion museum in my closet, period. I know this video might seem like I'm here, there, and everywhere. It's because I have so many thoughts going through my head, and today I kind of just decided to just sit down in front of the camera and talk and run my mouth. And so stick with me. We're you know, we're going somewhere with this, but if it feels like I'm jumping around, it's because, like I said, I have all these different thoughts in my mind. But yeah, I really want to curate a beautiful wardrobe, and with that said, those archive pieces are necessary. Those vintage pieces are necessary. Definitely gonna do an archive wish list, because I have one. I'm slowly but surely trying to cross some things off that list this year, for sure. But I kind of want to cross them off before I bring the list to you guys, just in case somebody's my size. I don't got time for that. So number 4 on my list is going to be to play around more with exaggerated silhouettes. Now, I know earlier I spoke about the barrel style of jeans, right? Which is one of my favorite silhouettes. And that's what I mean by, like, exaggeration, right? Because once again, you can have a plain pair of jeans, you can have a plain pair of trousers, but when you do a barrel leg style, it kind of takes it up a notch and it gives more interest to the outfit. And so for me, I know often sometimes there's nothing necessarily groundbreaking about someone's outfit that they're wearing, but I realize that visually the silhouette is sick, and that's what's really drawing me to it. It could be a whole monochromatic look, it could be very like basic pieces, but the silhouettes, fire. And that's something that I really want to focus on, because once again, like I said, I may not always be in the mood to do the absolute most. So that's where silhouette comes in. I love a cinched waist, okay? Cinch me, baby. I don't need to breathe. I can take shallow breaths. Like, I want to be snatched. I want the waist what? Tiny. We need it tiny, okay? Absolutely love a cinched waist. I love shoulder pads. I love a strong shoulder. The 80s is one of my favorite decades for fashion. So for me, when I see a strong shoulder and a shoulder pad, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. Will always love it. Have always loved it. It's just, it looks so good. It looks so good. I also love like a little peplum, and I know peplums have kind of been like creeping up here and there. For me, they're a classic. I think the way that we style them now is completely different from how we would have styled it in like 2010 when we was in the club, but I still feel like a peplum is fire. You know what I mean? Once again, mentioned in the barrel leg, can't not mention that. I also really love like a very like a fishtail kind of maxi skirt. I am obsessed with that silhouette because it almost is like bridal, right? But in everyday life. So I'm a bridal stylist, and a lot of dresses are called like a fit and flare, and they'll have like, you know, your train, so you go ahead and fluff and you have a godet. So your godet is like this point here that is in the back of the skirt that kind of flares out like this, and that's what gives it the shape. But I love to see that kind of godet and that like fishtail like vibe in a denim skirt or in like a silky skirt that you would wear on a daily basis. That's the kind of silhouettes that I'm talking about. So for me, yes, silhouette is going to be very important this year. Not only am I looking for like solid pieces, well-made pieces, but that silhouette, it got to be fire. All right, So number 5 on the list is going to be to experiment with different color combinations. Now, I know a lot of people recently have been getting into color theory, and you know what? I'm here for it. I think it's a great thing for all of us to learn. I do think a lot of people are scared of color, and that's why, you know, everyone be on some like just wearing the basic of colors or neutral colors only. But to be very honest, a beautiful color palette, oh my God, is gonna do it for me every single time. And I love to see people really experiment with color. I love to see people who understand the color wheel and color theory and the colors that complement each other and just all of the things. So I'm definitely gonna do a video on that too, because I think it's very important for us to learn. But yes, experimenting with colors is absolutely on this list. We kind of spoke about it a little bit in one of the podcast episodes, and we were just saying like, you know, what color combinations do you guys like to see? And I was telling Brumman, and we also have Flop on the store on the show, and we were speaking about color combinations. I was like, honestly, I love like pink and orange together. Pink and red looks dope. I really love like a cobalt blue with a really deep purple. I also love a cobalt blue with like a chartreuse green. Ooh, divine. Okay, I love a like hot pink and tan, hot pink and brown. And then that's just basic, right? Because those are just 2 colors. When you start getting advanced and you're mixing 3, 4, and 5 colors together, you the one. You the one. I haven't gotten there yet, but I do aspire to get there. But yeah, colors and playing with color combinations is definitely high on my list. Once again, the outfit itself and the pieces could be more like understated and basic, but what's going to take it to the next level is that visually is so appealing because you're playing with color theory within your outfit. Number 6 on my list is going to be to build my jewelry collection. And here I have ear stack, arm stack, necklace stack, babyola stacks, as I usually say, because I am just a stack kind of girl. I love to see jewelry piled up from here to here, baby, okay? And I love to see a blinged out ear. I love to see necklaces layered. That's just my vibe. That is my personal aesthetic. A couple of months ago, I went through and kind of like cleared out most of my jewelry because it just wasn't serving me and it wasn't real either. So, you know, after a certain time, depending on the brand, costume jewelry and just like, you know, even like plated jewelry, it just fades, it gets old, you gotta get rid of it, you gotta replace it. I'm being super intentional moving forward with the pieces that I do buy because once again, I'm really trying to curate my jewelry collection as well. So there are several things that I really do want. First things first, I'm a just include girl. When it comes to Cartier, that is my vibe. I know everybody loves the love ring. It's not really for me. If someone gifted it for me, I would wear it because I do like it and I think it's a great piece for stacking. But if I put the love ring like next to the just include all day because it gives me more. It's a little bit more edgy. I think it's cooler. The idea of a nail wrapped around your finger is dope. It comes in obviously just the solid, you know, gold, rose gold and white gold, or you can do it with like the diamonds on the head of the nail. You could do it fully diamond. I tried on the fully diamond one. Ooh, this is a few months ago when I was working in luxury resale, and when I say baby, I was obsessed with that ring. I used to try it on almost every single day because I loved it so much. But yeah, just include me, please. Down to the ground. There are also several pieces that I really love from Tiffany's. I think Tiffany's makes beautiful jewelry, obviously, right? But there are certain collections they have that I just personally enjoy. Love the T1. I love anything from Elsa Peretti. Yeah, I just like, I think, I don't know. I gotta decide. I'm not sure if I want the bone cuff or if I want to do like the ring version. I think it's called, is it a split ring or the bone ring? I can't remember, child. You know, it'll be up on the screen, but I really do want a piece of Elsa Peretti jewelry because once again, going back to like my fashion history nerdy roots, I heard about Elsa Peretti years ago when I was like learning more about Halston. Halston is an American designer and his story is so interesting. If you are into fashion and you want to do like fashion history, he is the epitome of why you don't license out your name. He is the epitome of you need to own your own shit and you need to stop trying to be everywhere all the time. But great designer, you know, his story was very unfortunate, but him and Elsa were really good friends, and she was like, he basically introduced her to Tiffany, like the company, because I think at the time he was doing perfume for them or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And long story short, Elsa had a long-standing relationship with Tiffany and has been designing jewelry. She's since passed, but her collections do extremely well at Tiffany's, and they're iconic for a reason. She's an amazing, just like, jewelry designer. So yeah, Tiffany's is definitely on the list. What else is there? There's Ideal. I really want to try some Ideal pieces. Ideal has modular jewelry, and that's something that I'm very interested in for the simple fact of, because I love a stack, I think it allows me to create the look of a stack without adding more piercings, even though I'm not against piercings, because I am really planning to bling out like both of my ears, mainly the right one. So I have 4 piercings, right? So I have 3 low piercings, at the bottom, 1 cartilage piercing at the top. But on my right ear, I have my tragus done, and I recently got my conch done last June? Maybe last June or July, so it's coming up on a year soon, and I'm still trying to figure out if there's one more thing I want to do. I might do like a daith piercing, I think, and maybe like another, like, I don't know if I want to do a 4th like low piercing or another cartilage piercing. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, the vibe has always been like bling out this one ear. But yeah, I do like Ideal pieces because they're modular. You can like just change them around, and they're real diamonds, you know, well, lab grown diamonds. The quality is amazing from what I've been hearing from like all the influencers that I watch. So Ideal is definitely on the list. What else? Definitely want to start my David Yurman stack. Like, that's very big for me this year. Very big for me this year. Absolutely need to do that. There is just so many Yurman pieces that I want, and I'm really trying to just narrow down what I'm going to start with. I don't know if it's going to be a ring or if it's going to be a bracelet, because those are the 2 categories that I'm most interested in. And then comes earrings, because I do like a few of their earrings as well. I just don't know. And for me, Yurman is a big deal because I am not a silver girl, and Yurman is mostly silver. The gold is so expensive, and respectfully, I'm not there yet. I do want some of the gold pieces, but we got to work our way up. But I love the fact that they do mixed metals, right? So you have your mostly silver pieces, but they have gold accents, and I'm someone who's not opposed to mixing my metals at all. So yes, Yurman stack needs to be created this year as well. I just want really timeless pieces that I can go ahead and obviously pass down, right? Things that I don't have to worry about, things that I can have year after year after year. I can pull them out for different occasions, things that I could wear every single day and not take off. Like, that's also the goal. I really want to create stacks that I can wear on a daily basis. Obviously I can switch them out if I want to, but I want like a hardcore, everyday, tried and true jewelry stack. And I mean for my neck, for my wrists, and for my ears as well. So number 7 on the list is going to be to discover and support more small brands and Black owned brands. For me, this is a very big deal. Working in the fashion space, you really understand the lack of diversity when it comes to Black owned businesses, right? And I'm gonna start there first, just because obviously I'm a Black woman who has been in this space for 20 years. And to think that it's 2026 and we're still lacking when it comes to diversity and inclusion for Black people in this space, Black and brown people in this space, I think is kind of crazy, right? But it's been like that. And has it gotten better? Sure. But realistically, we don't get the same kind of funding and capital and exposure and just assistance that white designers do, right? So we always have to work twice as hard and do, you know, the absolute most to get recognition. And so for this reason, I think that's why I was like very frustrated with the whole Hanifa situation. And honestly, I didn't really speak on it because I kind of felt like there was enough noise in that space as it was, and I didn't really want to hop on the bandwagon. Now granted, it wasn't the, you know, hate train bandwagon that everybody was on, but it was more so just like, yeah, I got enough videos about this. But realistically speaking, I do think that it's very interesting the way that people handled Hanifa, especially because y'all get on Beyonce's internet every day that God has made and cry about the lack of diversity and inclusion and the lack of Black owned brands, fashion brands at that, right? That give you looks and the vibes and the aesthetics that you're looking for. Hanifa checked a lot of those boxes for us. And I'm not saying that you can't be upset with a brand. I'm not saying you can't hold a brand accountable. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to express your thoughts and your feelings. But what I am saying is that there's a way to handle situations like that, right? And then the other thing that threw me for a loop was then all of a sudden now fabrication becomes a conversation, right? And the fact that polyester is used in her items. And I'm just really trying to understand why the polyester princesses all of a sudden got an issue. Because yes, I did go looking, and I did go look at y'all pages, and I did go look at y'all outfits and the shit that you be wearing, and it's giving very much Shein, it's giving very much Fashion Nova, it's giving very much polyester princess, like I said. But all of a sudden you got an issue with paying the price for Hanifa items because they have polyester in it. You didn't have a problem when you were swiping your card. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. And so like this this whole situation was really just irritating me, so I stayed out of it. But yeah, back to the point at hand, right? Supporting those small owned businesses, supporting those Black owned businesses, it's so important because we need it. We need it. We need more visibility in this space. We need more support in this space. We need just more everything in this space. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's 2026 and we're still lacking. We're still lacking. Now, aside from that, I also want shit that people don't really know about. I want cool shit. I want cool shit. I want shit that everybody's not onto yet. And do I care if everybody gets on it? No. Do I want to be the first to be on it? No, I don't care. But what I'm saying is I want unique pieces. And often you find more unique pieces when it comes to smaller brands, right? Because they're not like doing things for commercial like reasons. They're doing it, they're creating just because they want to create. This is the shit that they into, and I love stuff like that. So for me, one, I want to support people who are obviously just like trying to live out their dreams, also trying to support their families as well, right? Themselves and their families. And just like being a Black woman in the fashion space, I want to support smaller brands. And yeah, small brands, like I said, they make dope shit, period. So it's like, it's not too much I can say about it. It's a thing that's happening, and I've slowly but surely been finding brands that I'm very interested in. Like the newest one that came across my desk was Hertumba. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know where I've been. It's given I've been under a rock, but baby, when I say the pieces are fire, they're fire. I believe it's a Nigerian owned brand, if I'm not mistaken. Baby, and then there's another one. Tanika B wore this outfit. I'm gonna put it up here. I gags. You hear me? I gags. Now, she wore this for her 20th anniversary wedding photos with her husband. First of all, stunning. They looked gorgeous. Gorgeous couple. But baby, that dress, I immediately went to the website because I was like, I need parts. I need parts. That is another brand that's finna get my money because I am obsessed. So stuff like this, like, you know, obviously people know about them, but they're not well known, like mass-produced items. I need that. All right, so number 8 on this list is going to be to start collecting sneakers again. Now, I have never been like, well, previously I was never a big sneaker girl. I was the girl who had a pair of sneakers for the gym, a pair of sneakers for like casual outfits maybe, and that was really it. I probably owned like 2 and 3 sneakers at a time. Was never really the vibes, right? Cool. Started dating this guy years ago, and he was a sneakerhead, collecting sneakers for like 15 years before I even met him. And he would just like, you know, share with me randomly just things that he was looking at and things that he was interested in. And he would ask me my opinion, like, what you think about these? What you think about these? Slowly but surely, I started looking at sneakers on my own, like, because I realized that, oh, these are dope, and I can actually style these for my personal style. And so I kind of started getting into buying sneakers, started buying sneakers left, right, and center, child. Just specifically like building my Jordan 1 collection. I really had to like take a break and a breather and like sit my ass down because I was wilding for respect. And then just life has been lifing, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible, but yeah, I need to get back to it because there are so many pieces that I want to just cross off my list. Definitely a bunch of oldies but goodies, and I'm really thinking about just like starting with the Nike the Sakai collaboration because that's definitely something that I want. But yeah, there's so many different things on my GOAT list, so I gotta go on GOAT and just like check into my wants list and start crossing them off. I think the most recent pair of sneakers I bought was from J Tips. J Tips is a dope sneaker designer. He was also on the podcast. We did an episode with him. He dropped some serious gems, so if you have not seen it, I'm gonna link it here. But yeah, dope sneaker designer, and let me show you guys the sneakers that I got from him. Okay, so these are the sneakers that I got from the J Tips collaboration. He designs for Saucony, and let me put one of these down, child. So these were the sneakers, and when I saw them, I just loved the colorway. I thought it was dope. It was something different. It's something that I don't have. This shade of blue, I really do love because it just like pops. Yeah, they were just super cute. You know I got these in kids, baby, because one thing about it, we gonna get that size 5.5 in boys. But I really do love this collaboration. The like just details on it is really super cool. Also, wait, hold on. Let me show you the back, because I love the back. So I don't know if you can see it, but one side says I love you, but I'm busy. And it's just like, you know, he works so hard, and he, you know, was speaking about that too on the podcast, just about, I guess, trying to balance life and all these different things. But that's real and that's felt. And that's also another really reason why I bought these, is because sometimes, you know, life be lifing and you don't get to see the people that you love often. And I just thought it was a really nice touch. But yeah, they're dope. And so I'm very excited to style these. I've had these for a few months now, but like I said, I was just in a weird space, not really getting dressed. But baby, these this summer, they coming out. So you can dress sneakers up and down. It really just depends on your personal style. I know most people think sneakers and automatically think like casual, workout, you know, sweatsuits or just jeans, but I love a pair of sneakers with a dress, a skirt, anything. And I love to see sneakers with more kind of elevated or maybe like dressy looks. I love juxtaposition like that. And so me personally, I think it's cool, and I'm definitely super excited to start getting back into collecting sneakers again. Okay, so next on the list is going to be to solidify my signature look. Now, I know that some things about my look can already be considered my signature, right? I'm known for being a blonde, well, again, but back to being a natural blonde. I am also known to have obnoxiously long knotless braids. That is my thing. That's my jam. That's my zhuzh. Ain't never gonna stop. Okay, and shout out to my cousin Laura, because she always holds it down. We'll be there for a while, but she gets it done. Love them. I love a set of knotless braids. Taking a break right now, but they will be back. My nails, I'm a medium stiletto nail kind of girl, okay? Usually in my signature color, which is Ferrari Red by D&D. So I know that there's some things that are signature for me, but I think I'm really trying to just refine it, right? And really solidify it. Like, what am I known for? What, if you see it, do you think of me? Right? Because I think that's also part of branding. And once again, with me rebranding my life in general, but also trying to build my personal brand online, I do think that that's something that's very important, is because it makes you stand out. I am a brand. I am the brand, right? So once again, just people, you know, having that signature look and having those signature things about me that remind me, that remind you of me, I think is very important. But also for me, I think I've just always wanted to have a signature look. Like, I love people who have that. You know, Aaliyah had her signature look. Selena had her signature look. One thing about Selena, she was gonna have them bangs, okay? And she loved the red nail too. That was her vibe, that was her zhuzh. And please do not forget the red lip. Her Mike in the museum, in the Selena Museum in Texas, literally still has her red lipstick stain on it, okay? If that's not iconic, baby, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So for me, yeah, I'm still like, you know, figuring out certain things that I always want to be present when it comes to me, like nails down pat, hair down pat. I think I'm kind of like trying to figure out my signature makeup style. I feel like I have one, and it's very much just like a natural glam. But yeah, I think I want to refine that a little bit. I kind of want to get back into wearing lip colors. I used to wear red lip all the time. And like, I don't know what happened to me. So yeah, like stuff like that. But I think having a signature look when you're building a brand is super important. So if you are also trying to build a brand, whether it's offline or online, baby, figure out those signature things about you, your appearance, your brand, and what it is, because it's a part of your brand voice and the image. The next thing on the list is going to be to document my outfits more. I don't know what kind of content creator I am, because the way that I'll be forgetting to take a picture and a video is absolutely ridiculous. However, it's something that I'm kind of training myself to do more often. And I think the issue is because I'm not consistent when I haven't been consistent making content. I feel like I don't have the right to call myself a content creator. Therefore, when I'm outside and now I pull out my camera, I'm like, well, why are you doing that? You know, it's it's very weird, and maybe it only makes sense to me. However, yes, this year I want to document my outfits more. I want to document my life more in general, but specifically the outfits. I think that is very important, once again, for me to position myself right in this space. I am a fashion content creator. I am an expert to a certain degree, right? I've been in the business for 20 years. I do know how to put that shit on when I actually decide to get dressed. So why am I not recording my outfits? Why am I not snapping a picture, a video? Why am I not sharing it? linking it, all of the things. So yeah, documenting my outfits more is very important. I've slowly but surely been starting a little bit more. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see that recently I've posted like in my stories, usually my outfits of the day when I'm at work, and that's been very helpful for me. I feel very proud of myself. I literally, before my day gets started and it gets like super crazy with appointments, I'm like, boom, let me get on this pedestal, snap a photo. And I've been eating it down. I've been doing little things. So I'm very proud of myself. And this year, like, I really want to get into it more. Well, I should say get back into it more. I want to start doing like get ready with me videos again, super quick reels, whatever it is. I just want to document my outfits. I miss that part of like content creating. I miss seeing myself like kind of like put an outfit together and figuring out what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. But yeah, I once again, the documentation is also important because I kind of want to view my feed on Instagram now, or even TikTok, as kind of just like a mood board. Like, I want to be my own mood board. I want to be my own vision board, whatever you want to call it. That's what I want it to be. So when I scroll on my own Instagram and I'm looking at my feed, I want to see fit after fit after fit, look after look. That is the vibes this year, okay? All right, and last but certainly not least is going to be to start over. And I probably should have started off the list with this, but it came at the end. So long story short, we're starting over. We're rebuilding our life. We're rebuilding our thought processes. We're rebuilding our wardrobe. We're rebuilding habits. We're starting everything over from scratch. And the good thing about life, right, is that every day you wake up, you get a chance to do something new. And for me, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Every day I get a chance to be better. I get a chance to show up. I get a chance to create my life and make it what I wanna make it. You may have felt one way about something and now you change your mind. Guess what? You could do that because it's life and it's your life. So start over. Whenever you need to, whenever you want to, start over. And so yeah, with that said, that is it. That is my video. These are my style goals for 2026. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any style goals for 2026, please run them down below. Let me know. Absolutely love to hear what you guys are planning to do for your style and your wardrobe this year, because I'm nosy, but I also want to know if we just have the same things in common. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, tell a friend, do all the things, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.